I'm hot.
Who told you that? Oh, nice. Your knocker's getting bigger.
Brilliant.
No, I don't want to be sexist, but
You don't want to be sexist, but...
Well, men don't have tits, so you can't mention knockers. Well, I'm growing a pair.
Are you
but
good?
Shut up.
Yeah,
but that's
yours?
sexist.
Are yours?
Tits are not sexist. Tits are female. Right, welcome back, my friends. Here we go. Let's have a nice cup of tea, made by Deb this morning, made with love. What?
She might have spat in it, I think.
So Deb's in a funny mood this morning. I came in and cooked an omelette and she fucking growled at me.
What, you were quite...
Burn it?
What?
Did you burn it?
Did you burn it?
It stinks. The whole building stinks. Did you see the sort of pro-British protest in London yesterday?
Yeah.
So
I was asked to go on it by loads of
yeah,
people.
but so it was organised by Tommy Robinson. So immediately the police, the press go, oh, immediately anybody that's on this march is called far right.
Yeah.
Far right.
Football hooligan.
That phrase has lost all meaning now, in the same way that racist and Nazi, it's lost all meaning, because this march was filled with, if you saw it, nurses, teachers, veterans, old people, people of all ages. The Union flag was flying, English, Scottish, Welsh flags, Israeli flags. It was so peaceful.
Palestinian flags?
No, thank goodness. And so they were singing Rule Britannia, they were singing Sweet Caroline. It was a really peaceful event. And it was just saying, we don't want our culture to be eroded. We just
Well, it
want
will be.
British
I mean, the
values.
more people that come, yeah, but, you know,
Exactly,
it's
but-
change. Everyone's frightened of change.
But there's...
And they want a level playing field, I think.
We want a level playing field, and it was the actual march was to say we want an end to this two-tier policing that we've seen.
What is that? Explain.
In terms of, so the way the police handle, for example, a football crowd,
Yeah.
and they suddenly, you know, find their powers of arrest and batons at the ready, and how they deal with the pro-Palestinian marches, which is dealing with
Well, they're all
kid gloves.
students, aren't they, pro-Palestinian
Well,
marches?
they're not
and
all
people
students.
who wear
Well,
sandals
they're not all
and women of a
students.
certain...
They're not all students, are they? And
Size.
that's the quite terrifying thing. It's this unholy alliance between
the left.
the left and
Green Party.
Islamic extremism. But this march was like I say, was respectful, was peaceful. It brought people together, and it was just saying we want our country back. We're proud of being British. And do you know what?
There's nothing in the papers.
Can you see it anywhere?
No, nothing.
Can you see it now? If dozens and dozens, if that had kicked off yesterday,
Yeah.
right? Do you think that would have been on the front of the papers? Because
Well, you
I
know
can
why it
guarantee
didn't
would have
kick
been.
off? Because all the people that kick off were in Mallorca punching fuck out of one another on the beach. Have you seen that? Yeah, there's a load of stag two blokes all punching.
Really?
Yeah, and there's a film of it. And when people are drunk, they can't fight anyway.
No.
Because they're just fucking that. Stormy Daniels.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to look at one of her films this morning, but I thought better not. I can't get it on my boat. Can't have porn.
You can't have porn. Oh
No.
God, that must be devastating for you.
But because it's my Vodafone thing, don't allow me to watch.
Does it not? Have you got parental control on your own? Your own? No, Tash has put parental control on.
I was going to show her Stormy Daniels. She
Oh, I
looks
bet
like
she
a
would have
fucking-
loved that.
Well, just for...
She would have loved that this morning.
She could have been a sword swallower, you know, if she wasn't. I thought she was fucking sicking up a python.
Who are we on about here?
Stormy Daniels.
Thank God.
You thought I was talking about
thinking,
Angela Rayner?
Wow.
No.
Sorry, Tash. She didn't react, and I thought, I don't know whether he's complimenting you here, Bert, but yeah. So Donald Trump, on the back of that,
Do you like him?
do you know what? I really want him to be president again, and more so than I did before. I actually think the world was a safer place when he was in charge, mainly because he's so batshit crazy. I think people like Putin and China would have thought, "Oh my God, we're not going to kick off. We're not going to kick off because we don't know what he's capable of." But now, he's sort of been made a bit of a political martyr. They have tried to get rid of their opposition. It's what you'd expect from the third world, or what you'd expect Putin to do. And everybody should be really scared. it takes the mickey of democracy. And everybody should be scared that if they can do that to him, they can do it to anybody. And so I really do. I think it will backfire spectacularly, and I think people will vote for him even if they don't particularly like him, just on principle. Do you like him?
Who?
Donald Trump.
Oh, sorry, I've moved on.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, look at them. Okay, joining us now is one of the participants of a new...
How do you cope?
Hang on a minute.
No.
I'm introducing something here. I'm trying to be professional. One of the participants of a new series here on Ustream called Ladies Who Lunch, or Ladies That Lunch. And when ladies go to lunch, as I witnessed yesterday, it is a fucking nightmare. But lunch they do. Now, I like that programme, Loose Women. I like it because I know it's on and I can have a sleep for half an hour, or I know when not to go in. But if they were to actually be themselves instead of, preening, it would be a lot better. Janet Street, So I thought, wouldn't it be good if you just get a load of people who are not celebrities, who have got nothing to plug, and get them talking like real people? So I devised a thing, and Vicky's going to help me produce it. It's called Ladies Who Lunch. And so the first lot on are called the Weymouth...
Weybridge.
That's you. The Weybridge Witches. Then we've got the Weymouth Wenches, and then we've got the Hamble Hags, etc., etc.,
I don't know if they've agreed to that one yet.
So here's Natasha.
Hello.
How you doing?
So is it you and your mates, your genuine mates?
Yeah, so obviously you've been wanting to do this show for a long time, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I jokingly said, to make it interesting, you should film me and the girls having lunch. I think you FaceTimed us when we was having a lunch.
Oh,
and that's how the conversation started.
Yeah.
Because he was on FaceTime and could see us all.
And then I made the joke to say, "Are you pissed?" No.
I think Nicole was in the background with a wooden spoon singing 9 to 5, Johnny Parson.
Because
Well, I've seen your lot as well.
Yeah.
The Weymouth Wenches. You better tell all these people who the fuck you are, first of all. They're saying,
that's a
who's
very
that
good
guy?
point.
What?
I think they might have guessed. But
What? Who?
who Natasha is?
Yeah.
We mention her quite a lot.
Yeah, but no one's ever seen her before.
This is true.
Yeah.
No, so it's putting a face to a name.
It is.
Yes.
What you got on that hand, Tash?
Watch, lovely watch.
Oh, yeah. And it's the wrong
Something
time.
just blinding me. I don't know.
Show her, have a look. Have a look.
I mean, that is just
It's lovely, isn't it?
stunning. Absolutely stunning.
And it saves me pissing round her tent.
Oh, you've got to stop using that phrase.
I wish I had a
Why?
pound for every time he says it.
Well, that cricketer, the former Yorkshire cricketer, Azim Rafiq, who's the one who was involved in the sort of race scandal thing
Yeah,
and then
he said
said
they
some
called him a darkie or
anti-Semitic
something like that.
remarks himself. He's turned around and said, the drinking culture in cricket is alienating Muslim players, right? Now,
Well,
that
tell them
is
to have a fucking
part-
beer.
Don't drink then. You don't drink. But that is part of the cricket culture. The bar at the end, you know, the crowds have a drink. It's always perfectly pleasant and perfectly well behaved. That's part of the cricket culture. Stop trying to get rid of our traditions and cultures. And people have just said, and like I said about that protest yesterday, it's just genuine, hard-working, normal people saying, we're quite proud of our country and we want it. We're quite happy with our cultures and traditions. Thanks. We're tolerant. We're kind. We're a brilliant nation. Stop trying to change everything.
Well, not everybody does that. I just think there's arseholes in every religion. My daughter-in-law is a Muslim and a lefty and a lawyer, human rights
Human
lawyer.
rights as well.
Plane chaser. And she doesn't drink. And so if she came to the house, we'd all drink, you know, but I wouldn't
Exactly.
serve pork.
No,
I
which
wouldn't
is fair. And
expect,
there's
you know,
a respect thing. But if she came to your house and said, I'm telling everybody that they can't have a drink because I don't drink, that's when it's gone too far.
Yeah.
Because you can't keep putting your rules onto other people.
Okay, you have powers that be. You are now in charge of the country. You're not the Prime Minister, you're like the President. You're like, well, I've always wanted, make the King rule the country and make him put a government together, like a president.
What would I
type
do?
thing. What would you do? Come on, first thing.
Stop immigration.
Stop immigration.
Yeah, the mass
All
immigration.
types of
I turn
What
back
about
all the
students
boats.
coming in?
student visa, I wouldn't allow 75 family members to come in with every student visa either.
Okay.
And I would have to, if this country is paid for you to learn.
How would you stop the boats?
I'd have the Navy in the Channel.
Would you?
Yeah.
What Navy? First of all, so you've got to get a Navy.
Right,
together.
okay, well, I would spend a lot of money on our defence too, because I think we've left ourselves very open. But I'd stop immigration, I'd cancel all this crazy net zero shite, which is just going to make us all so much poorer, and make no difference whatsoever to the emissions of the world.
Because of China.
I mean, Keir Starmer goes to announce his net zero thing in a private jet. Also, when you talk about your private health thing, and you're quite right in saying you are freeing up a space in the NHS, right?
I'm freeing up a space for an NHS bed for someone less fortunate than myself. That person could be coming across the channel as we speak.
Not if I was in charge, they'd have been turned right back round. But it's the same thing, and you're right, you are free. So you're paying your national insurance or your taxes, whatever, that goes to the NHS, but you're not using it. Brilliant, great. Same with private schools and these little independent schools. And this is why when Labour's plan, if we're talking about all their policies...
To add VAT to school fees.
Disgraceful, because the really rich people and the really rich schools, that's not going to affect them. That's not going to affect them. That's pocket money to them. What it's going to affect is all this sort of middle ground, these little independent schools, parents that have absolutely scrimped and saved to put their kids through that education, that are... that struggle to get their kids there, and that's who it's going to wipe out. So all you're doing is completely widening the divide between rich and poor and state school. And what it will then do, all of those schools that close, all of those kids will then need a state school. So you're putting far more burden on the state school, which if you stopped your private healthcare, you'd be putting more burden on the NHS.
I think anyone who's got the OBE shouldn't pay tax anyway, or anything.
Is that what you bring in? That's all you bring in?
What?
Just if you've got an OBE, then...
No, if you wanted to know what I would bring in, I certainly wouldn't bring in subscription, because it's not the Ministry of Defence's job to keep youngsters off the street or to teach them how to behave. I don't think that's right. We're a professional army, and we need to be so. Just boosting the numbers is ridiculous. I think it's the most ridiculous fucking thing anyone's ever brought up. The other thing I'd do, I'd stop the speed cameras immediately. I'd have speed cameras, but I wouldn't have them for points. I wouldn't give anyone points. You just give them a fine. Right, and the thing that else I would do is scrap the TV licence. Yes.
I was just about to say that.
That 100% agree.
Excuse me a minute. I'm the fucking Prime Minister here. Look, already my civil servants are turning on me.
Well, that's not active.
Well, scrap the TV, but no one pays it anyway. It's not a felony anymore.
Well, it is. But...
And what about the prostitution bill? I'd pay it. No, and because the other thing is, I think... Like in America or in some countries, what you turn up with for a marriage, you keep at the end. During a divorce.
It does seem to me...
Like a fucking dog or something like that.
It does seem to me that your policies as Prime Minister are very niche to you,
very personal
right?
to me.
Very personal, yeah. Doesn't seem to take into account the greater good of the country.
I'd bring down unemployment overnight. You know how I'd do that? I'd raise the school leaving age to 30. Why is it, right, when you dial a wrong number, it's never engaged? See? Why is it, right, when you get in the bath, the phone rings? Or the doorbell?
Yeah, and when the phone rings when you're in the bath, you just answer it or call people from it and go, I'm in the bath. And then it gives you a really bad mental image
I've never
that
said
nobody
fucking
wants.
bath. I've never said bath. I'm pulling up the plug. Say plug.
Plug?
The plug. Yes, I'm just washing me pug in the bath and I can't pull out the plug.
But you do. And you called me that one day when you were being ill and going, I'm on the toilet and being sick in the sink. And I went, why are you on the phone to me then?
You must have rung me.
What am I meant to do in the... No, I didn't call you.
Hang on, I was on the toilet. I can only deal with one. I can only deal with one shit at a time. I don't need you on the fucking phone. Thank you very much.
What are you doing? Why are we having this conversation?
It must have been important.
It can't. It wasn't important. You just wanted to tell me that you were in that predicament.
All I'm saying is there's got no. Hang on, it's not gobbing off. This is God's way of protecting you.
There's nothing worse
when you're
going to happen
sick
in my life.
and there's nothing else that can come up.
Yes.
You always shit yourself, don't you? It's because it's a release valve to stop your eyeballs from flying out. Because the pressure build up, you've got to have that release valve. Surprised you haven't drowned the cat. On that lovely note, let's see what's